All right, today's list is horror movie deaths that shocked me the most. And I don't think I'm shocked very easily. This is a very big topic, so I'm gonna do these by decade. So today I'm doing of the 2020s, and then I'll just sort of go backwards in decade. Obviously, there's gonna be some spoilers in here if these are movies you haven't seen. I always put a picture of the movie I'm talking about each time, so you can like scroll through to check if you want. First up is Vicky from When Evil Lurks, the little girl with the dog. I don't even really have to say too much about this. I think we all agree that was enormously shocking. I'm always amazed when a movie has the guts to kill a kid, frankly. Not something that we see overused, for sure, on film. Sometimes kids are killed off screen, but to see that in that way was so jarring, so immediate. I love Damien Rugna. Between that and his other movie, Terrified, he is really not afraid to kill kids. And you gotta respect it. Next, and this is not a movie, this is a series, a limited series, but this is Mike Flanagan's The Fall of the House of Usher. We're talking about Perry and all of the other clubbers and their untimely death. This one shocked me, not necessarily in the sense that I didn't know it was maybe gonna happen, given that the episode pretty much leads up to it, but in the way that I had no fucking idea the way that they were going to shoot that. That was vile, to say the least. The audio, the music, pretty much cutting and just giving us people just screaming was so hard to sit through. And I mean that in the highest honor. Oh, Mike Flanagan, I love you. You're fucked up. I love you. Next, we've got Emily from Invisible Man, which would be Elizabeth Moss's sister character in the restaurant. I don't know the last time that I was so surprised, not only at how a kill happened, but at the fact that there was going to be a kill in that moment. I think that's a really artful skill, because I think as horror fans, we all sort of have this like internal timer of like, okay, a kill's probably coming soon. Even if we can't formulate it up here, our brains and our bodies are just sort of aware, like, yeah, that makes sense that kill just happened because it felt like it was about time. That was so disrespectful on so many levels. And I mean to us as the audience, Lee Wanell. The way he did it, the time in which he did it, the place in which all of it was just so unbelievably skillful. Not just the character who, formulated it, Adrian, but also like the people who actually made this film. That was like, we all felt, I think, so safe in that scene. We were like, at least we know we have a minute to breathe. And we're not safe. Ever. At least not when Lee Wanell's around. Next one is another child, actually, and it's Jeremy from the opening of Halloween Ends. Every time I watch Halloween Ends, I still remember the feeling of watching that scene in the theater, which I did, and like the reaction of the room. The tension is incredible in that scene with the parents getting there, unlocking the door. It all sort of happens slow, play by play, because we know something's gonna happen. But the way in which everything feels slowed down until Jeremy falls, and then there's no score over it. It feels so insanely realistic and human in a way that was like we watched found footage, or we watched like a security cam footage of something happening. It was so upsetting. Especially to open your film with it is psychotic. And please do it again. And finally, Kyle Gallner in the Smile 2 cold open. If you're someone like me who enjoys moments in horror movies where a character goes to extreme lengths to do something and you're like, thank God they finally did it, and then they get rocked in some way other than that, you're gonna love this cold open. Not only is this cold open shot unbelievably, I mentioned it in one of my previous videos where I ranked the best cold opens in horror movies. It is so gripping, and it's like an action movie for a minute, and you really think that he's gonna get away with it because he was our main character for the entire last film. And then to just see him go through all of that and everything he went through with Rose and whatever hell of a week he had prior that we didn't even get to see all of that, and then to just see him just go be eviscerated by an accident. It was just such a beautiful way on Parker Finn's end for him as the writer and director to like show us that literally no one and nothing is safe, and it's not even worth getting attached to people anymore. Also, I know his character's name is not Kyle Gallner, but anything that Kyle Gallner is in, His character's name is Kyle Gallner in my house, baby. Okay, next I'm gonna do the 2010s for this exact category though. But in the meantime, what did I miss from the 2020s?